This Extreme Festival action is proudly brought to you by CompCare Medical Scheme, Dunlop Tires, Polo, the #1 in brakes, and Investec. We head down to the mother city, and the city of Cape Town is behind the Killarney International Raceway for the penultimate round of the Extreme Festival. And the crowds are here in full force for all the action. Welcome to the penultimate round of the CompCare Volkswagen Polo Cup here in the mother city. And Killarney International Raceway has thrown everything at these boys this weekend. We're here on Friday for Super Pole and for qualifying, and it's an all-important qualifying and Super Pole for these drivers. The big Cape Town contingent are at the front end fighting hard, and the only man who could really take it to them at this stage is Killarney Mercedes. Darby van der Merwe still with an outside chance, but the big factor to take into account is over my shoulder. Look at that cold front coming in over Table Mountain. Is that going to change things up dramatically tomorrow? And what's going to happen this afternoon in Super Pole? Reigning champion talking to the man who could be king at the end of this weekend. Charles Visser's looking good, but so is Nathan Victor, new man to the series. Well, the plan was to get top 6. You're right there, top 4, even better.
Yeah, I was super happy with the lap. Got a little bit of help, but yeah, hopefully I can rectify and do that again in Super Pole now.
6 cars about to go out 3 by 3. They're going to be led out by Giordano Lupini, the man who would love to do everything right to be at the top end of this championship by the time he leaves his home round. And Gio is pushing hard, but so is Darby van der Merwe, so is Tate Bishop, and we've just heard there from Nathan Victor how excited he was to be in the top 4. Flag is out, and how's that for a little bit of a change-up? Here's the lucky draw for race 2, and wow, there's a very happy man in the middle there. Natim Samanga getting pole position. Giordano Lupini was on pole for the first one, and there you see the Dunlop Award being handed to him, the 2,500 Rand for the pole position. Super Pole is important here. Your teammate not quite on song though, something wrong with the gearbox, so it means you're going to have to fly the flag high at the front.
Yeah, no, unfortunately he's been struggling today. I think we found it towards the very end of the day what was wrong with his car, which is unfortunate, because I think we would have both been up front. But I know he's going to be strong tomorrow, and I think hopefully he'll meet me up front later on in the day.
There's 5 Cape Townians at the front end of this field, all looking to try and take the honours here. Natim Samanga will have to come from a little bit further back in the first heat, but we've already seen he's on pole for the second one. Jean-Jay Marais joins us as well, part and parcel of the Stu Davidson and Sons team, and teammate to Killarney Mercedes, who also, from KwaZulu-Natal, wants to be at the top of this championship by the end of the day's racing. Let's have a look at that starting grid. Giordano Lupini and Charles Visser on the front row, Mercedes and Darby van der Merwe on the second row with Tate Bishop and Nathan Victor, then Natim Samanga and championship leader Yuri Swart in 8th. Fenta and Hill, Loosemore and Robertson alongside each other, Marais and Pillay, and Joe Ellerine joins us for the first time as well, alongside Mohamed Karodia. They head to the line now for the first heat start, and this is all important. Giordano Lupini on the front row there for Bullion IT. He'll definitely be looking to try and hang on to that front row and to the front of the field if he can. But as I said, there are 5 Cape Townians on his tail, a KwaZulu-Natal based man, and a man all the way from the Eastern Transvaal. It's going to be an amazing start here as we get ready to go now for CompCare Polo Cup Race 1 in the very overcast and slightly breezy conditions compared to yesterday. But as they head down towards turn 1, Gio's got the lead and looks like up into second place. Darby van der Merwe from the second row squeezes through and gets up the inside of his teammate there, Charles Visser. Visser's got problems of his own though. Mercedes on his inside as they go into Holzhoek for the first time. Nathan Victor's dropped back ever so slightly. Yuri Swart has got through on him. Cara Hill fighting with Jago Robertson, and just ahead of Jago is Bryce Pillay. He splits the 2 Team Red Racing boys at the back end there, Loosemore and Robertson, but as I say that, Robertson dives on the inside and comes back at a hard charging Bryce Pillay, but Pillay had to give way there. It's Giordano Lupini from Darby van der Merwe as they head towards turn 3 for the first time as they go through that very tricky right-hander. You can see just how they all concertina up, except for these 2. Something went wrong there with the Summit Racing Machine. Look how far back that car's gone. Victor with some problems in the start line as they come through there for the first time. Now they start to push it to the limit as they go up into Malmesbury and onto that back straightaway for the first time. Let's have a look at it from Yuri Swart's point of view. We heard he had some gearbox issues. Looks like they seem to have got that all sorted out. And the second of the Bullion IT cars now putting pressure onto Natim Samanga as they come down to the braking point into Cape Town corner and Fostron. On the brakes, down the gearbox, into third, up onto the banking. This is a great shot here from Gio's car, looking straight into the eyes of the man who wants to take away this championship lead from his rivals behind him. And he's got both of those rivals way behind him. Killarney Mercedes tucked in about 5th place at the moment, and behind him is the championship leader, Yuri Swart. So he's made up 2 positions on that first lap. This is Darby van der Merwe attacking Giordano Lupini, but Lupini wants this victory. He wants the home track advantage. He wants to show the Cape Townian crowd and Bullion IT they put their money behind the right man. Oh, that's some wide manoeuvring there from Fenter, running ever so slightly wide out of Hole's Hook for the first time there. As you can see, just being forced wide by Natim Simanga. Simanga fighting hard there. Nathan Victor back up into it as well, pushing hard to try and squeeze up a little bit higher than what he's been. And you can see the Summit Racing man has just squeezed through there on Fenter. Robertson on the inside of his teammate Loosemore. That's Bryce Pillay and Cara Hill having some fun and games with Mo Karodia, and just behind that, Joseph Ellering. So some good starts here from the new drivers, and a change-up for second. Visser hits second place and gets ahead of his teammate. Tommy van der Merwe there in the Team Red Racing and Data-sponsored car now. Probably going to look to use the Cape Townian to bridge that gap between himself and Gio. Gio is absolutely lightning fast on these first 2 laps, getting away from the field and pulling about 2 seconds or so there ahead of those cars in second, third and fourth place. Fourth place at the moment is Tate Bishop, and he's bringing Poseidon along for the ride. We're going to have a 4-way battle for second place any second now. They fan out as they come down towards Fastron Corner. Late braking from Derby going on the high side of the banking here into Cape Town Corner. You can see just how hard that corner is. He tucks back right underneath the bumper there and looks to try and close down on Charles Visser. Maybe use a push to pass here. Remember, he's going to have a 2 less than everybody else. The top 3 in the championship have 2 less push to pass mechanisms to use, getting that additional horsepower where they need it. And he goes defensive to keep out Tate Bishop. Bishop definitely used one there, and Derby had no option other than to go defensive into Hole's Hook as they come back down towards turn 1 again. Another lap completed there, and you can see just how hard Tate Bishop is pushing there in the Angry car. Did an amazing event on Thursday with the Angry Racing team, getting some carters onto the circuit there in the 4-strokes. A really, really successful event there for the Polo Cup, and he was part and parcel of it. Yeah, good move there from Poseidon Note, diving up the inside of that Angry car, looking to try and squeeze through there for the McDonald's and Stu Davidson and Sons car. Yuri Swart sitting back and waiting for something to go wrong. He's got his championship rival right in his sights there. Clinton Poseidon, of course, sitting second in the championship at the moment. Yuri in first, but at the moment, these two are down in 5 and 6 on track. That is not where they want to be. Yuri trying to maybe just consolidate after a poor Friday's practice sessions with some gearbox issues. Whoa, top 2 sliding out of Malmesbury. Starting to push those Dunlops way beyond what they're actually capable of doing. And that's exactly what they're crying out for. You could hear them squealing coming out of Malmesbury there. Those Dunlop tyres are really working well at the moment as the rest of the pack come onto that back straightaway. Nice battle there between Cara Hill, Bryce and Mo Karodia. Having a really good tackle and tussle at the back end there between those 3 cars. And then the rest of the pack come through here. This mid-pack also started to heat up there with Fenter closing on the back end of Nathan Victor, joining us for the very first time in Polo Cup. Great to have him there. And he's joined by Joseph Ellering as 2 new rookies join the series with 2 rounds to go. Now they come back onto the main straightaway again. Fantastic starts here from the top end of the championship, but some great starts in the mid-pack as well. Look at Nathan Victor applying pressure onto the back end of a man who has been at the front end of the field and has dominated in certain sectors of this championship, Natim Simanga. The Squadra course man is certainly expecting to not have that amount of pressure being applied to him by the rookie. Remember, Victor's got some serious experience around here. He normally participates in another Polo in the GTI Challenge here, but he's certainly loving life at his home circuit. He has a change up, possibly Poseidon not getting superb line out of the kink and dives on the inside, going down into that very fast right-handing sweep. I tell you what, Damps is not easy to get right, and if you've got Poseidon Note's kind of courage and those coneys, that's the kind of maneuver you can make. And he gets up ahead there of the angry car of Tate Bishop. Bishop now falls into the clutches of his fellow Cape Townian. And you can see that Yuri Swart is meaning business as well. He's already applying the pressure onto Tate Bishop, realizing that Poseidon Note's got 1 position up ahead of him. Speaking of pressure, this is late race pressure coming here from Visser onto the back end of Giordano Lupini. Visser wants the victory. Giordano is going to fight hard for it. They're both fighting for honours here for championships, and they're also fighting for honours in terms of what they're going to finish up for the Cape Townian crowd. The Western Province fans have come out to see their top 5 fighting in CompCare Polo Cup, but it's going to be Giordano Lupini who wins out that battle. He beats Charles Visser to the line. Davy van der Merwe comes through for 3rd place and keeps Poseidon Note and Yuri Swart behind him, closing the gap down dramatically in this championship for CompCare's 2022 season. The rest of the pack comes streaming through there, and it's a great finish all the way down into 13th place. Let's have a look at the top 10 though. Lupini from Visser, van der Merwe and Poseidon Note. Bishop was there in 5th, beating out Yuri Swart. Nathan Victor, incredible drive there from the rookie, ahead of Msimanga, Fenter and Robertson. Let's catch up now with Gio.
Absolutely crazy. I think it's been a dream of mine since I was a little kid. To win at a national level in South Africa is no small feat, so I'm extremely happy with that. I think I got a good start and I just kept it consistent from there, and then I got the job done.
There's about 15 points within the top 5 drivers in this championship heading into race number 2 for CompCare Polo Cup at the penultimate round here in Cape Town of the Extreme Festival. And as you can see, conditions have changed dramatically. It's a bit chillier than what it was earlier on, and the wind is pumping a bit more than what it is. But this is the mother city, and Cape Town at Killarney International Raceway always provides great action, particularly in the Polo Cup. Race 2 action now about to kick off as the drivers are getting ready. Nathan Victor will look to maybe get him to the top 6. Bryce Pillay will continue his fight out with Cara Hill, and you can see some smiling faces on the sideline. Maybe with Bryce having to run a little bit harder this time out. Jason Loosemore back from international oval track duties. He's definitely having a great time of it. Charles Visser this time definitely wants that number 1, and he wants to be on the top step of the podium. But on the front row, it's Natia Msimanga who will lead them down towards turn 1. Alongside him is Giordano Lupini. Lupini's been left in the wake. Look at that. Being eaten up about 5 or 6 cars into turn 1. It's Tate Bishop who slots up in the second place. Lupini is side by side there with Charles Visser. Looks like Davy van der Merwe tucked in behind Tate Bishop. Yes, he has. He's got to third. Besaid Note into fourth, and Lupini is just getting eaten up left, right, and centre. Speaking of left, right, and centre, well, 2 cars off track there on the right-hand side with Cara Hill and Mo Karodia getting completely offline as they came out of turn 1. That is an incredible drive there, and out of shape is Jean-Andre Merez. He gets a little tap there from Mo Karodia going into turn 2. A little bit out of shape, but he manages to catch it. Stays on the black stuff as they head down towards turn 3 now. This is where things could change up. Tate Bishop are really applying pressure. Look at the pressure, though, coming from Giordano Lupini, and he forces Visser wide. Visser onto the dirty stuff. Charles Visser runs onto the grass, and he's going to slot in possibly into about 3rd last position as he comes back on track there for Team Red Racing. Yeah, just ahead of Joe Ellerine, right at the back there for the Paget Racing squad. As they come onto the back straight away now for the first time, look at the steam train of Polo Cup GTIs heading down towards Cape Town corner. This is Visser's point of view. You can see he's not a happy camper. Being forced wide out of Damps and onto the grass, he had to wait until all the field came through bar 1, and then he slotted up into that 2nd last position. He's got a lot of work to do now to try and catch the front end of this field. Being led out at the moment by Natia Msimanga. There's a push to pass. Definitely being used there by Davy van der Merwe. Going to try and use the slipstream effect there on Tate Bishop as they go across the line. Besaidnot's got the Bullion IT boys right behind him there, and it's side-by-side action from Giordano Lupini, race 1 winner, and his teammate Yuri Swart. Championship leader still, but only just. Late braking from Nati. Massive pressure coming from Tate Bishop. In fact, that's a little tag on the back. Yeah, Bishop out of shape. Natia Msimanga out of shape. There goes Davy van der Merwe squeezing through on the inside. Brilliant stuff from him. Absolutely perfect position to be in as the 2 cars got out of shape. Davy hits the front. So a bit of a change up there between those top 3, because here comes Besaid Note as well, trying to get back up into the top 3. Let's have a look at Charles Visser's point of view. The last time they went through Damps, here he is on the outside. He's trying to get on the inside there, and there's a little tag from Gio, I think it was. Yeah, there he goes through. He catches the car onto the grass and manages to stay literally in a straight line, which is a good thing, because that could have ended up in a huge one. That inside wall is definitely not where you want to be putting a Polo Cup. Here we go into Fastron corner. Giordano Lupini and Yuri Swart squeezing Besaid Note out and high and wide. Coming along for the ride. Looks like it's Jagger Robertson. Jagger Robertson is side by side. Look at this side by side action. Original race leader here from race 2. Natia Msimanga now down into about 5th place as he goes alongside Giordano Lupini, race 1 winner. And here comes Besaid Note. Whoa, what push to pass mechanism from Besaid Note. He's going to try and thread the needle between these 2 cars under braking. Can he do that? 3 by 3 they go into holes. Oh man, somebody had to give way. Yes, it had to be Giordano Lupini. Somebody on the outside or anywhere on those 3 cars had to give way at some point. And Giordano Lupini, well, there you go. Maybe a little bit of a retribution there. Not from the man who got taken out originally, but on similar colours there, red and yellow. It came from Besaid Note's point of view. He's now got Victor on his tail. He's got Yuri Swart ahead of him. That is championship leader and 2nd place. And if Davy van der Merwe stays where he is right now, he could be taking the lead of this championship. Yuri Swart will be well aware of that, and so will Besaid Note. That's why they're fighting so hard to get up through the field as high up as possible and get through possibly there on Natia Msimanga. They come out of Damps. Short straight away up towards the double right hand at Malmesbury. Let's have a look at it once again. This is Yuri Swart's point of view as the 3 of them go into turn 1. Well, Nati turns in, so does Besaid Note. Yuri gets a little bit of help there. Moves up 1 position and retakes that position away from Besaid Note due to the fact that Besaid Note had to take some evasive action with him and Giordano coming together. Lupini now onto the back end of Fenter. Fenter's out of shape. Oh, with the IDN car. He slides in. Fortunately, it's a bank corner. That helped him out from not sliding completely off circuit. But Dean Fenter got that completely lit up. And of course, Sue has just got engaged. And congratulations to him and his young lady. We wish them all the very best. But right now, he's not worried about that. He's more worried about what's happening into Cape Town corner. This is Visser coming back. What a drive here from Charles Visser. Unbelievable action here from Charles Visser, who's made his way through the field rapidly. And he's back up into the mix there with Natia Msimanga and Besaid Note. Can you believe that? He's got ahead of Nathan Victor as well. What a turnaround there, and some luck coming the way of Charles Visser after he was off track earlier on. He's now looking to try and get up on the inside. He's got Besaidnout all over the back of him, trying to find a way through there. Clinton Besaidnout is too far down here to take the lead of this championship after 4 rounds where he's been absolutely the dominant factor in this championship. He's battling here at the Cape Town circuit. He comes side by side, looking for the inside line there. Sharpfist is going to go on the inside line. He'll probably follow him through. Naitium Samanga could lose out 2 positions. Noam Samanga sees him coming. Just squeezes enough room there to keep out Sharpfist, but he's gone wide. And Giordano Lupini's coming along for the ride. Here comes Victor as well. 5 cars fighting into Malmesbury. Absolutely amazing stuff here in the CompCare Polo Cup in Cape Town. The penultimate round of this championship, and they've kept the best till last. There's no doubt about it. Look at these 5. Absolutely side by side once again between Naitium Samanga and Giordano Lupini. Are we going to have 3x3 in a Cape Town? Looks like that could be the case. Here they come. Up into the breaking point, and it's Nathan Victor trying to get on the inside there of Besaidnout. Besaidnout's much better on the brakes. How late was Clinton Besaidnout on the brakes there into Cape Town? And great driving from Giordano Lupini. He's managed to eventually get ahead there. And Naitium Samanga, our pole man, is demoted down dramatically. Davy van der Merwe has hung on. An amazing drive there from him. Opportunistic driving, but it's going to give him the lead of the championship. The angry car comes through for second place with Tate Bishop at the wheel. And Yuri Swart, well, he needed that 3rd place. There's no doubt about it. Beating out Charles Visser, who came from the back of the field, up into 4th place. What a drive. Beating out Clinton Besaidnout, who finishes up in 5th place. Nathan Victor, in his rookie run, has a 7th and a 6th place there in the 2nd race. Lupini comes through for 7th, ahead of Samanga, Robertson, and Cara Hill. Let's catch up now with 3rd place, Yuri Swart.
We found a cigarette in our fuel tank, so make of that what you want, but in the end that's motorsport. There's always going to be politics. We've looked like we found it for the last race and changed the fuel pump, and we were back in at 8th to 3rd with 1 less push to pass and a lot of people around me, so I'll take it, and the pace at the end looks strong, so to come back with that at the end, I'll take it. It could be the difference. So
A 3rd in race 1 and a win in race 2 sees Davy van der Merwe at the top end of the championship now.
Started a bit on a back foot on practice, but I found our pace more as the weekend went. But very happy. Thank you for BW South Africa and all the work they've put into the cars. Very, very happy, and let's see what happens in Swartkops.
Heading to Swartkops, there's 14 points between 5 drivers, 3 points between the top 2, as Davy van der Merwe looks to make sure that the 3 races at Swartkops are going to count for this championship.